Grab your tickets, empty your tanks, and take a seat as the main attraction is about to start. Refreshments, we'll take care of that. We do hope you like popcorn as we're heating up a few kernels tonight. Welcome to the Lager Logs Points of View with Tom and Stu. I'm Tom, he's Stu. Say hello, Stu.
Hello. I wondered with bated breath how you were going to wrangle that intro back to our brewery tonight.
I do my best. What can I say? Yes, you just heard my associate, Mr. Stuart Sutherland, or just SS to his friends in the Führer. We're ready to rock this evening. Hopefully come out the back of this thing with a couple of new favourites, maybe, or at least something to declog the kitchen sink with. Mr. Muscle is so expensive to import these days, you know, with us leaving the EU and all and being so far away from Austria. Stu,
yes.
How are you? Fill me in, bud. What's going on?
I'm good. I've had my holidays. I'm refreshed. Been out, just doing the holiday thing. Dragging your kids to boring museums and
it's the best.
And going to the zoo.
I wouldn't want to spend my holiday any other way, to be honest with you, buddy. You had a good time though, yeah?
Yeah, I almost bought a beer that was intended for dogs. I just thought.
You want to get into this now or later?
I didn't drink it, so it's not last beer's drank. But it was. Like, I
wish it was.
In the gift shop of the zoo, and I thought, Christ, you'll find craft beer anywhere. But it was beer for dogs. And it was called Bottom Sniffer.
I liked how you willingly saw the title and picked this up for yourself. That's the more shocking aspect of the story. You thought, yeah, I fancy a couple of bottom sniffers. You disgust me. You disgust me. Good, man. Okay, yeah, beer as usual. Tonight, we'll be offering up a few beer reviews plus Blu-ray fair views. Yes, we'll be trying to give the official Bum Cheeks of the Year Article Circle Edition calendar a fair evaluation. But as well as that, as I mentioned, on an obviously smaller scale, we'll be covering influential craft brewer Kernel, and we'll be tucking into their table beer and Vic's Secret Pale Ale. Stu, let's do this thing, man. I'm gasping. I'm absolutely gasping. Our first beer of this evening, I thought before our pale ale dinner, we obviously have to set the table. Beer.
Yes.
Yeah? Do you like that one?
Yes, you smooth bastard.
Have you, Stu, tried previously any offerings from tonight's guest brewery, or will this be all brand new?
Brand new.
Brand new. Beautiful. A couple of virgins on the show. And 2 beers as well. Right.
Oh, Thomas.
It's been cracked open.
Did I tell you how I found my children?
Going in for the snit. How what? How you doing?
The beer.
I just got that. Yeah. It smells really fragrant for a table beer. The ones that we've kind of previously experienced so far.
No, mine definitely has a floral smell.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. I think, you know, using brown envelope tape as a label is a bit cheap, I gotta say, but you know, it does the job.
I kind of like that.
Simple stuff.
It gives me the feel of it's either like this is like prohibition beer, where it's kind of just like a no frills, underground beer.
That makes it a lot cooler.
Yeah, where there is no frills, it doesn't need to stand
as
out.
We drink it. Yeah, well, I suppose it's one of them that I think they're hopefully letting the beer kind of speak for itself in terms of the taste. So
yeah,
let's give it a shot, buddy. Cheers, man.
Let's not hold back. It's fine.
It's fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's It's got kind of hints of like a little bit of spiciness you'd associate with an IPA or an APA, but
Yeah.
not a lot else going on. But refreshing, crisp for
Hmm.
sure. So while you enjoy that, Stu, I'm going to tell the good people about the Kernel. Here we have the Kernel Brewery's table beer standing at a 3.1%. The brewery was founded in 2009. It doesn't say who lost it though. In Bermondsey, southeast London, and was one of the capital's first craft brewers. Around 90% of the beer Kernel produces is sold in London, and the company specializes in each brew being an intentional evolution of the previous batch, as the hop types used are constantly changing in line with availability, and this results in varying flavors imparted from each year's crop. This particular brewski was first brewed in 2012 and has grown to be one of the company's most popular beers. It's brewed weekly and is influenced by the British tradition of cask conditioned beers, although this tastes like it was brewed at least a fortnight ago. Um, right, let's stop there for the moment and catch up with each other's last beers. Watch you.
Thomas.
Fill me in, buddy. What's been going on with you?
Well, I returned from my little haven caravan holiday.
Yep.
I thought this is the perfect time to just get all about the beer because there'll be no driving involved. I'm on site. I can just wander
Mm.
to the show bar and grab like a couple pints
Check
and
something
just
out,
be on my
yeah.
merry way. And funnily enough, it wasn't as plunderful as I was expecting.
No?
No, I feel like there wasn't enough of everything. They were short staffed, and
Oh man.
the beer fridges were empty.
Gee, I thought we were reviewing beers, not holidays.
So
That sounds not so good, man. Unfortunately, did you manage to find a decent brewski though?
yeah, I mean I had two beers on tap. It was a Heineken lager,
Mhm.
so that was fine. And then it was like a blind buy in Worthington's.
Oh
Um,
man.
I think it was Worthington's Best Bitter.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. How did you get on with that? I'm intrigued.
It was really nice,
Oh
smooth.
man, I
It went
enjoyed it.
fine with my cod and chips.
Beautiful. That's pretty good accompaniment. I would say personally. How was the Heine?
That was fine. Like it just
Yeah,
ticked all the boxes of a nice smooth lager.
brilliant, man.
There's
That
no
sounds really good.
complaints. Other than that, I think it was just Guinness. So,
Okay.
but it was a tease because I sent you that picture of the beautiful tap they had for Doombar,
Mm.
the amber
Yeah,
ale, and it was
gorgeous
just there
stuff.
for
Yeah.
show.
Oh man,
Just
that
nothing
always
connected to the
sucks,
other
dude.
end.
That always
It
sucks,
might
man.
as well just been like a big ass bottle opener just for a bottle of Doom. There you go.
Because yeah, Doombar on tap is fantastic, really really good. But that sounds like you had a good selection, man. Very
Yeah.
nice selection. Anything else you managed to tuck into?
Um, I did have just since coming back. I did get a little tin of Vocation Life and Death,
Okay, okay.
and it took me a moment to realize I've actually had the beer before, but they've repackaged it all. How
IPA is
before it
it?
used to be the title took up the majority of the can. Now the Life and Death has like an illustration of like a snake and a skull, and then the title underneath. So I guess that's what they're aiming for. To me, I thought I was buying a new beer. I just went into Asda's and I thought, you know what? Going to start for the top left corner and work
Yeah.
my way across, get all the way to the bottom, just try every beer in the
The
shop.
whole thing.
And the first one was like Siren Brewery oatmeal stout, and I thought, right, okay, next bottle we'll go for, and it was
Did you not
Vocation.
fancy that now?
Nah, I want to kind of enjoy a beer with my pizza. I think and just going about an oatmeal stout didn't sound like
Yeah.
the way to go.
Nah, it's kind of a standalone bevy, I would think. But yeah,
Aye.
just still good then? You dug it before, still
Oh,
dug it now?
I feel it's the perfect interpretation of like an IPA.
Yeah.
Just it ticks all the boxes, and I think that might cement as like the if I really wanted to have an IPA, like one I could have and rely on, I think it would be Vocation's
It's
Life and Death.
like your go-to IPA now.
Yeah, aye,
It's
it's
awesome,
definitely
man.
like I like to find a beer that'll top it. So,
Brilliant recommendation there from Monsieur Sutherland. Brilliant. Anything else, Stu?
oh no, I'm good. What about yourself? How's your week been in beer?
It's all right, man. You sound like you had a pretty good week. I had a pretty decent week too. Like
Hmm.
a complete madman, I decided to sample all my new beers for the week in one night last weekend. And yeah, amongst them, managed to pop down to a local brewery, which was lovely. Burning Soul Brewery here in Birmingham. Shout out. And gave a couple of their brews a spin. Still sticking to the German stuff at the moment, and managed to sample another Helles, Heaven Helles, to be exact. And
Very
yeah,
nice.
it was fantastic. Yeah, I thought so, man. Not as malty as I was expecting, but a bit spicy and a bit herby even. Kind of,
Oh,
quite complex flavors hitting me. So it was beautiful. Yeah, nice to try a Helles on draft. And I dug it a lot. I tried my pal's beer too, which was he had World King
wait,
Fist
during a pandemic, sharing beers.
with well, I brought my own straw, so it was okay.
Okay,
World King Fist,
that better
and,
not be a plastic straw.
and it was one of the crazy ones, that go loop to loop. They're
Ah,
beautiful.
I do it like a crazy straw.
A this was a dank IPA, which I don't know whether that is an
Oh,
official IPA category or not, but
yeah,
it
like
was called that. I've seen it on listed a few times now, but I can't get to the bottom of whether it's just
so
something
like
they bang on or whether it's an
CBD
actual.
infused.
Well, it might be. I didn't know what this was. It didn't say, but it was 6%. It was major hoppy. Not really my thing, but had a nice kick to it for sure. And
Hmm.
I also managed in a separate bar to have Titanic Stout on draft. Finally,
Oh,
love it out the bottle. Big fan of that as well as their plum porter. And yeah, trying it freshly pumped for the first time was a life changer. It's up there with Murphy's as one of my favorites. It's a bit nutty, bit oaty, bit of a
hmm.
roasted flavor,
Hmm.
subtle and delicious, but not to be eaten with pizza. And
Does any signs of marshmallow?
no,
No,
nothing like that.
chocolate
Unfortunately,
orange.
we'll save that for next week. And yeah, well that's about it from more. Great week. Really, really great week. Stu, how does this beer compare? I don't know why I move my head so much. How does it compare to our table beer from our Oktoberfest special, which was a couple of
I
episodes
prefer
now?
this one.
Yeah, I think this has got a lot more flavor to it.
Definitely. Like the one we had before, we said, well, it's quite clear, watery, and we
Mm.
kind of just put it down to like the alcohol volume and but it's table beer, so it's well, what was it? Summer beer they classed it as.
Summer beer,
So we
yeah.
kind of thought, right, they're going the session route, but
Yeah, definitely.
this proves that you could kind of go with a low percent and not skip out on the flavor.
I completely agree. I think the House was or the Vault House was a bit lower. I think like two point something, maybe two
Yeah.
point eight. So it was slightly low, but this has got a lot more flavor, and it's only like a couple of decimal numbers above that. And yeah, it's good. I say it's not very intricate with its flavors, but it's kind of just bang on the money, really. I think
Mhm.
for a session beer, very very nice. Mm. So up next, we're going to jump into our second beer of the evening, Vic Secret Pale Ale. And just what is Victoria's Secret, you may ask? While I'm hoping it's an overpriced negligee, I'll happily settle for an underpriced beverage. Let's find out. So let's crack this sucker open. Give it a spin. Last little shot of the table beer there. Very nice. It smells different. It smells a bit different.
Yeah.
I was thinking this would be maybe like mirroring our Vault House episode. This might be kind of similar, or the two, might be similar beers, but one being a bit weaker and one being a bit stronger, but kind of sharing the taste profile. But the smell is completely different.
Quite cloudy.
Yeah, it smells a bit jammy to me. Interesting. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
Cheers, bud.
Cheers. It's got a funny taste.
It's bitter, isn't it? It's very bitter on the back end. Quite sharp. I don't know about that. Well, I think I'll continue my little kind of backstory of the Kernel. As I mentioned, this is a big secret pale ale, sitting at a fantastic 5.3%. I've seen this listed as an Australian pale ale, which would technically mean it uses Aussie or Kiwi hops, but I can't clarify that for certain. And if it was, it would sit somewhere flavor-wise between an American pale ale and an IPA. So to deep dive into the Kernel Brewery's back catalogue, they have an Imperial Brown Stout at a whopping 10% volume. Come at me, bro. A London Sour, re-fermented with raspberries. One for you, Stu. And an Indian Porter, interestingly, a double IPA and Porter hybrid. Have the Rennies on hand for the aftermath of that one. Genuinely, they boast a very complex catalogue with a bunch of classic styles brewed from, it seems to me like a lot of them brewed from centuries-old recipes. So one to watch for sure. And I'm very gassy right now. Take a moment just to, get some oxygen in. But yeah, fantastic back catalogue, and I'd be interested to visit their brewery because a lot of great styles. Okay, let's see what the knuckleheads on Instagram want to know. It's the listener's question.
Yeah. Let's not call them knuckleheads.
Okay, duly noted. Chrissy boy. 6. First 5 didn't like but this guy, fantastic. He asks, will he at ATH007? Don't understand Instagram still, but there is a question here, so I'll read it. Do ales age in the bottle like a fine wine? So, Stu, what's your thinking? What's going on?
I believe they don't. Through my own personal experience, when I used to help run a cinema back in the day, they used to throw concerts, like little fundraisers, and they'd always get just crates and crates of beer, cider, and they'd get stored under the stage and often forgotten about. So we'd find ourselves like 6 months later finding all of this out-of-date beer and, trying a couple. We'd have like a lock-in, then realize the next day that wasn't probably the best idea. And then I think it just kind of concluded with us just standing over kitchen sinks, doing like the Stone Cold Steve Austin tipping back 2 tins, but just right down the drain. So that doesn't answer the question.
It's good. It was interesting you bring that up because I feel the same way, because working in a bar in a former life,
you've had a few tales.
I've had plenty of out of date beer, and I can confirm that your filtered beers in the bottle, which is 95% of what we drink in the bottle, they lose flavor over time. So best to get pissed up on that immediately. I would say. But what were you gonna say, Shoes?
I thought I didn't want to just cop out with a shitty story, so
I'm happy to do that.
so I looked to Google. I was talking about my stories, not yours, by the way. JustBeerApp.com had an article about this. Does beer go bad? How to prevent a skunky beer? And a little excerpt they have is drinking beer past the expiration date is not ideal, but in the event that you drink a rotten beer, just know that a bad beer probably won't make you sick and it won't kill you. At most, you can expect a bit of a stomachache and a slight feeling of disappointment.
I feel like that 24/7, so I should be okay to to dive in the out of date beers. Well, I think you're definitely right on that one, bud. Well, the people who wrote the article are definitely right on that one. I think we are drinking bottled conditioned beer this evening, which it does say on the back, which is technically a beer that does age like fine wine, as like I was saying last week when we were talking about kind of our wild beer, which is a farmhouse beer. It's got yeast shot into it before being bottled up, which makes it kind of ferment as it sits in the kitchen, giving it a quality much closer to cask ale than your filtered beers. The yeast
Actually,
is that white surprise at the bottom of the bottle. That's yeast, buddy. That's pure vitamin B, and then B stands for beer, as we all know.
Sorry, mate. I was just looking at the bottled on and best before dates, and I realised you only have 4 months to enjoy these beers.
Yeah, man. So, which is kind of weird, but I think what they put in terms of
small window.
I think so. Yeah, I think what they put in terms of the yeast does age it and improves the flavor for a certain amount of time, and then kind of kills the beer because it's kind of a living thing, right? It's like a microorganism. So you'd think that give it a few months and then that's it. It's game over. But yeah, does it taste a bit yeasty tonight? Shoot to you or not?
No, I'm not need to go to Boots in the morning and get a gel. But
give me
shit, I've killed him. To be honest, this is the first time I feel kind of a bit disappointed in a pale ale. But just something like I wouldn't have called it a pale ale. And they're just you might have been right when you said that there's like a jammy smell, but there's like
there's a jammy smell, but the taste
doesn't match.
I wouldn't even say it's hoppy. It's more kind of bitter than hoppy. It's an interesting flavor. I haven't quite yet worked out how I feel about it, but to kind of finish, I mean, the topic off really, or finish off the topic with other beers I could think of. The only other beers I could think of are like barley wine or imperial stout, which do age, but that tends to be in the barrel rather than in the can or the bottle. But yeah, to sum up, I mean, your filtered beer, which is kind of what we drink mostly when it comes to beer, is not going to age very well. But your bottle conditioned beers and your kind of farmhouse beers are going to age pretty well, but only for 4 months apparently, and then it's time to chuck them out. You got a window.
Don't hang about with the Kernel.
Yes, just stay within your window with the Kernel, and you'll be fine. So I hope that answers your question, or maybe it hasn't, and we've just been, spewing lies and misinformation, which is normally what we do on the show. So,
as the article says, we've answered your question. There's a good chance you might feel some disappointment or disgust.
That sounds about right, man. Our second question of the evening is from Neil Stav. Neil Stav. Neil Stav. He or she,
You've had your three
they
attempts. Move on.
ask. Is that all I get? He says, I'm currently looking for a good session beer to homebrew this summer. Any recommendations? Stu, I'm going to leave this on your very capable hands, as my experience with session beers is limited to kind of what we've done on the show. You've had
Yeah.
some of your neighbours homebrew, if I remember. Can we talk about that? Is it too
Uh,
private to ask? I don't want to pry.
no, I'll be happy to answer, but they never really did a session
What
style
was
beer.
what was that
What they
moonshine
were doing
drinking at the
was
time?
it was a couple IPAs and a blonde ale. It was a Bansville Brewing, is what they call themselves. It's like two brothers that have been doing this. They're making their own beer and wine. Um, I think what they were doing is you were getting recipes from Brewdog, so they were putting them into
Okay.
action and just
Okay.
kind of going with those instructions and seeing what happens. And I think they've done nearly about 10 batches of beer, so with success. So it's always nice to
That's
kind of get a
awesome.
message saying, right, we've done X, Y, and Z. What do you fancy? And then just a couple bottles, couple pound, everyone's happy.
Oh, brilliant, man. Brilliant.
But I decided to get like a good answer for this question. So trying to
You
find
did.
like the best
Jeez.
session beer,
Why?
I looked to the Scottish Beer Awards, which was maybe not even a fortnight
Okay.
ago, and they had a category for best session beer. So these suggestions is their gold, silver, and bronze winners.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So the gold went to Loch Lomond Brewery for their Zoom time.
Which is one that you've had before, the Loch Lomond, if I
Yes, it
remember.
was. Aye.
Yeah, I can't remember what beer it was, but I remember you talking about them.
I think it might have been like an NE IPA
Mm.
style. The
Beautiful.
silver was a kaleidoscope from Dog's Fall Brewing Company, and the bronze went to Opium, which was 6 Degrees North Brewing.
Okay.
So there's kind of like
There's your
three
recommendations.
suggestions
Yeah.
if you're based in Scotland. If not, maybe I don't know, Wild Beer Company's Under the Sun.
I mean, yeah, we definitely enjoyed that one last time. I think
Yes, I was quite impressed with that one.
I was
I enjoyed
impressed with
both
it.
drinks last week, Tom.
Did you? Did we
Yeah,
do? Did we do two last week? I can't remember.
most
I
definitely.
remember the one beer, and then I remember just kind of it was all a bit hazy after that.
No, there was definitely a second one. I remember spilling
Mm.
it off over my table.
Ah, okay. I remember that's going to be on the. It's going to be in the deleted scene section of the upcoming Blu-ray of season 3, right?
Watched
Can't
to
wait for
mildly
the
panic.
can't wait for the director's commentary on that one. It's gonna be shit. Uh, yeah, I definitely would recommend that. I think with that one, as I've thought about it, I think I mentioned on the show, but I think it definitely was more kind of session aspect of it related more to the fact that it wasn't very overpowering in terms of taste
Mhm.
rather than the actual kind of alcohol volume. I definitely would recommend that one, but as I say, yeah, experience is quite limited to what we've tried on the show, but I definitely would recommend that one. How did you get on with the home brews that you've tried so far? Sure, quite interested
No,
to
I've been
see.
quite enjoying them. There's been the odd time where I've had one that's flat
Mm.
or it didn't taste what I was expecting. But
Mm.
by the time it gets to like the second bottle, like the next attempt, I've generally been
It's
quite
all good.
impressed.
Yeah. Fantastic, man. I think that it's good that you got obviously something local and something homemade to
Aye,
try
definitely.
is fantastic. But yeah, Neil, Stav, hope we've answered your questions there. Thank you to you and Cricey Boy
Chrissy
6.
boy.
Chrissy Boy 6. Thank you for your questions. We really appreciate it. Stu, how you getting on with your beer then? What's your thoughts on this bad boy?
I've thrown the towel in with the Vic Secret. It's just not for me.
No, not for me really either. It's 5.3, so it's definitely got a bit of kind of like substance to it. It's not a bad beer, or it's crisp definitely. But the bitterness is very. That's the kind of. It's a bit overpowering. I think the bitterness has the bitterness. That's the kind of the one element from it that's really hitting me hard, and I'm not really getting a lot of anything else, to be honest, apart from that. Yes, I stand by my statement after that last sip. That's a maybe a no from us, but the table beer was fantastic. So
yeah, I'm all about the table beer this episode.
Oh yeah, I would definitely recommend that. It's probably one of the best I've tried easily. Okay. Well, that's all for tonight, folks. I think you've had enough for 1 week. There will be more logging next time. Please put your whips and rods away. I said logging. In the meantime, it's at the Lager Logs to stay up to date, or stay down to date rather. I always do enjoy an aerial assault on a romantic excursion. Stu, what's happening over there?
What, in Scotland?
Is that where you are?
I
didn't know.
That's all you'll get to know.
I had no idea. Yeah, what's going on with that, man? We got things going down. We've got pictures, text, things to click on.
I've been trying to get
hearts.
like back on top of the old social media game after my break. So it was like uploading my holiday beers, or God, I just remembered I had like a tiny rebel and like a fierce beer that I forgot to tell you about completely. But
what you could do is
could just
tell us
find
now.
out.
We can edit in into the last beers watch section.
Oh no, that's far too clever. Let's not. We could go to our Instagram page to find out my opinion of those.
Oh, see what you're doing.
So yeah, there's that. It's just sort of like getting back on top of posting pictures each night. Well, while I'm having a beer, and also including some little snippet clips of past episodes. Just actually like the video recordings of me and Tom discussing beer, like
a greatest hits, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. In case you missed it. So clips from the archive of me and Tom discussing like Wee Jock, or
yes,
great beer. And yeah, it's just kind of like little things in case you don't listen to every episode. You get like a 2-minute teaser, and it might just be enough like of a hook. Says, you know what, I will listen to that episode to see what they really think, rather than just being a pair of silly bastards.
But, I mean, yeah, we lie on the previews. To find out our real opinion, you have to check the full episode out.
Oh, that should have been the hook, where it's the whole video clip leading up to, what do you think? Like, well, I think, and then it cuts off.
Stop it, yeah. You missed a trick there, buddy. What's going on?
Yeah, damn it.
Oh, man. I wish he comes to his realizations behind the scenes and not on air.
On air. Which won't be edited out. Fuck.
Actually not.
That swear jar, Jesus, Stuart. Anyway, yeah. So Instagram, Twitter at the Lager Logs. You'll be able to find us on there. I'm trying to get more active on it, interacting with more people and more brewers. So if you want to interact with us,
we're coming for you.
Yeah. Like, tweet, subscribe, donate blood. I don't know. Maybe don't do that last one.
What are we going to do with blood? I don't
know. There's a black market out there.
Yeah, yes, guys. Check that out. As I say, it's at the Lager Logs, Instagram, Twitter, the Lager Logs rebelyell.com. That's the website. Next week, with a Rebel Yell, we cried poor, poor, poor. We're taking on Tiny Rebels, Stay Puft Marshmallow Porter, and $5 Shake Creamy Citra IPA. Listen to that again at 0.25 playback speed if you struggle to scribble it down. It's been a blast. See you next week, and thank you for joining us. Me and Stu hate it when our joints start bonding. Bon voyage, booze hounds. Say goodbye.
Goodbye. Frog Stew. Tune in next week.
That was heartfelt. I like that. That was really nice.